Ladies and gentlemen, dear Kristalina, dear Meglena, I regret that I could not be with you today, as I would have very much enjoyed taking part in your discussions on gender balance in decision-making positions. You know, this is a theme which is very close to my heart. And gender equality, by the way, is a fundamental right and one of Europe's founding principles. It goes back to 1957, when the principle of equal pay for equal work, or work for equal value, became a part of the Treaty of Rome. Since then, gender equality has become part of the European Union's daily work. The results of our policy are visible, and much progress has been made. But there are still many problems left, and we need to solve them. I believe that it is now time to act. One of the targets set under the Europe 2020 strategy, to which all EU governments have signed up, is to raise the employment rate to 75% of all citizens. And an increased participation of women in the labour force is the precondition for boosting growth and for tackling the demographic challenges in Europe. To achieve this target, we need more women in leading positions. But women continue to be seriously underrepresented in decision-making positions all over Europe, and this despite the fact that more women than men hold university degrees. 60% of new university graduates in Europe and in Bulgaria are women. The Commission's database on women and men in decision-making positions show that in Bulgaria, women only represent 22% of members of parliament. I invite the political parties and the Bulgarian government to implement effective measures in order to reach gender balance in political representation. You do have ambitious, intelligent, determined politicians. Kristalina Georgieva, the current European Commissioner for Humanitarian Aid and Crisis Response, who was voted the most influential woman in Bulgarian politics. Meglena Kuneva, former European Commissioner for Consumer Affairs. Cvetka Tsatstveva, chairwoman of the Bulgarian Parliament. Irina Bokova, Director General of UNESCO, just to name a few. There are many qualified Bulgarian women. You just have to look for them and to put them in the right positions. We need to improve the presence of women in top management. Women represent only 1 in 10 of the supervisory board members of the largest publicly listed companies in the EU, and in 97% of the cases, the board is chaired by a man. In the Bulgarian Sofix Stock Exchange, only 11% of the supervisory board members are women. The situation in Bulgaria is therefore far from being satisfactory, and real efforts are needed to accelerate progress. You might ask yourselves now, but what might be an incentive for businesses to play along? Well, the answer is very simple: profits. Making better use of women's talent is a business issue. Women mean business. A McKinsey study of the large European companies indicates that the best companies in terms of work environment, innovation, accountability and profits were those with a higher proportion of women on boards. According to their latest report, companies with a gender-balanced composition can achieve in an operational profit which is 56% higher than that of male-only companies. But what is the best way to change the situation? Self-regulation? Quotas? Some European countries have opted for a legislative approach by introducing gender quotas for boardrooms in the largest publicly listed companies: Norway, Iceland, Spain, recently France. To give an impetus to further progress in the corporate sector, I brought together the CEOs and board chairs of big publicly listed companies on the 1st of March, and we discussed possible ways forward. My approach is to give self-regulation a last chance and therefore encourage companies to develop credible self-regulatory initiatives to make significant progress. I call on all European companies to sign by March 2012 the Women on the Board Pledge for Europe and voluntarily increase women's presence on the corporate boards to 30% by 2015 and to 40% by 2020. The pledge is available on my website and is open for signature, and I count on the Bulgarian companies to support this initiative. In 1 year's time, I will monitor the progress achieved. If the progress achieved is still not satisfactory, that means if self-regulation fails, the European Commission stands ready to take action at EU level. High-level commitment and efficient measures from governments, political parties, businesses are crucial to make change happen. The media play an important role to raise awareness and stimulate the debate. And I'm very pleased to see that Bulgarian media are leading with good examples. Women in leading positions are not a problem for you because the biggest news corporations all have a female boss at the top. I'm thinking of Mrs. Ankova, the director of the Bulgarian National Television, Mrs. Politova, executive director of BTV, or the editors-in-chief of the newspaper Strud, 24 Kaza, and Capital, who are all women. And finally, it is also a newspaper that has taken the initiative to organize the first big public debate in Bulgaria on more women in leading positions and a women quota. I congratulate Pari Daly for this very important initiative. And I wish all of you every success for your debate. Kvotite jenite prisvas, družte me včas.